What's up, YouTube? It's Throttle Havoc here.
I'm Alpha.
I'm Jason.
And we is back with another video, man.
Y'all see
Check it out.
Y'all see it. So, basically, yeah. So Alpha, the car start.
Yeah.
Turn it on. Let's just let them hear it real quick. Damn. I know. Tap the gas a little bit. Keep the rods in the block though. Just tap it a little bit. Oh, God. All right. Turn it off. All right. Y'all hear it. Damn, that should make me cry every time. So Alpha, how long you car been down for, cuz?
2.5 years.
About 3 of them bitches for real. I think that video we posted with the little short, we posted a short of it knocking. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had this car for a minute, and I think the last thing we did with it was coilovers, no?
Yep, that's the last thing we did. I didn't even have the coilovers on there for more than like 3 weeks.
And that bitch, you still on the highway, right?
Yeah, I got it as soon as I merged on the
Tell
highway.
them the story, yeah.
So basically, it happened on one ridiculous goddamn night. I was getting on the highway to get to work, and well, no, actually no, this was an afternoon. I was getting off work. So I was running a few errands before I got home. I was getting on the exit and merging on. And as soon as I was merging on, I was picking up speed. And then out of nowhere, I started hearing like a clicking noise.
And so, it wasn't nothing crazy. You weren't driving hard.
No, I was going about like 50 miles.
And it had oil, right?
Yeah, it had oil pressure and everything. So no lights popped up, you know, but I still heard something. Like, I know I wasn't going crazy, so I turned down my music a little bit more. And I heard it a little bit more. So I pulled over to the side of the road. Got out the car, and I don't know, I'm just sitting there knowing damn well that's for sure engine knock. So I popped my hood, and then hear me hold that bitch is bunging like bongos and fucking tambourines.
Ankles loose, all kinds
so got back in the car. I knew all I had to do was park it, sit it, and that's where that journey began. But here we are today. Today is the day that we finally put this back in here over there.
So unfortunately, by the time he got the lift and all that stuff, it was kind of like sporadic, so I wasn't able to take the day off. I gotta still go to work. But he been doing a lot of research, and luckily this motor's long and not wide like the one in my Mustang, so you could kind of do it with one person.
It's fairly easy.
You know, he gonna have some help later though. Like I would have stayed and helped him, but I gotta go to work. But at least I can't.
Jason's gonna be here in spirit.
I'm gonna be here in spirit, bro. You know, so. Before we get into like, he gonna tell y'all everything that he got that, this car, man, he's got a lot of parts for this car, man. A lot of parts. And mind you, this motor, he gonna tell you what his plans are with this car. But
as you can see, we still have parts over here, as in oil additives.
You got more parts upstairs, no?
No. All it was like bumpers and
bumpers and stuff. Okay. But yeah, so really, I mean, you said this is a m54 b30?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna be doing a teardown in this engine, so y'all stay tuned for that. Stay tuned.
We're gonna do a teardown in this engine probably next week, so you guys might be getting that the week after.
No telling when y'all to get the video.
Yeah, because we want to take our time on this to make sure you guys get content and make sure anything's not rushed. But y'all definitely stay tuned with that. We will be posting on Instagram, so you guys check in with that.
At Throttle Havoc. Is it underscore Havoc? Throttle Havoc, man. Y'all subscribe to this channel. Okay, and go over to the Instagram and follow us, because we do post on there, keep y'all updated. So all right, let's get into it then. So basically, this Alpha, this is his build right here, so we gonna let him explain all the parts he got and basically his plans for this car. If y'all don't know, we only had one video on the channel, so we need some more, we need some more videos, so we gotta tell y'all what we plan to do. If y'all ain't heard, let's go talk about it.
So as I'm gonna start off, first obvious upgrade that I wanted to get was these headers right here, which are Mongolian headers. They run about.
They from Mongolia?
Yeah, no, Mongolian. That's the name
Mongolian.
of the brand.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say we exotic.
Yeah, but that's the name of the brand. These run about 270 on the market. So
is that the average price for like
yeah? Yeah, because these type of headers don't run. You won't find any type of headers over like 400 for these. But I wanted to get ones that, because some of these headers are routed differently, but I wanted to make sure I can use my stock exhaust. So
smart man.
I went with that. So soon the headers or the exhaust system that's on the car right now will bolt up to this one. But I also have to get some mini cats. That's the last thing I'm missing for this engine. But other than that,
for the O2s, y'all.
As you guys can see, the engine looks brand new. This engine did not look like this when I first got it. I promise you. I had a lot of time with this engine, so I just took my time. I cleaned a lot of it. I made sure all the seals were replaced. I replaced valve seals, oil filter housing. Wait, let me start over. I installed a lot of the O-rings. I installed a lot of the gaskets on this car, from oil filter housing gaskets, from O-rings to oil filter lever sensors, even all the Vano seals. I installed a rattle kit, so this would never rattle a day in its life.
You want to explain that to me? Because I don't even know. I'm a Ford guy, really.
So a Vano's kit on this car is really what pushes the intake and the valve system to allow oil and pressure.
It's like VVT, right?
Right.
Okay.
So it's basically BMW's VVT.
Basically. So I understand the Vanos, right? Like I know that's BMW's version of VVT, but explain the anti-rattle kit for.
So an anti-rattle kit is over time when you drive these cars, or you don't even have to be pushing it or driving it crazy every day. But over time, the rattle kit is the metal inside the Vano's kit will wear off over time, and it will get loose. So all I did was got a Reynolds kit, which is reduced. It's a ring that's slightly bigger than the OEM, so it fills the gaps if it was worn down. So you would never have that extra plate inside.
So like an oversized type of.
Right, like a little bit of extra, But I installed that. I also installed like the new kits. I fixed all the screws. I took them all down to spec, and I installed the M46 exhaust gasket, because the one that actually came with the headers were completely shit. So these are the ones that came with the headers, and on the online forums, a lot of people were saying do not use these because these will fall apart on you.
They look like they'll fall apart.
So yeah, so the ones that are on the engine right now are still plated on the outside, and it also has the gasket material between it. So you can kind of see the shininess, which is still on the outside, but you can see it has basically one of these on the inside of the metal. So I went with those because I don't want any exhaust leaks. Well, I'm already having a little bit of exhaust leaks already on. We'll get you guys an exhaust video later on, but y'all definitely stay tuned for that. But other than that, we changed all the spark plugs, we changed all the injectors, and right now all it is left to do is actually put it in the car.
And this your first motor swap, ain't it?
Yeah.
See, me, I got like 1.5 under my belt. You know what I'm saying? But 1.5. I'm still not an expert motor swapper. I'd definitely be able to help him a bit if I was here, but I know he got it. I trust him. I'm gonna be here in spirit,
Yeah, trust me, guys. If you guys know me, you know that I can probably build 50 different houses in 1 week. So
yeah, this man good as hell at what he do.
This engine is probably nothing to me. So I just want to make sure that everything runs smoothly, and I stick to everything that I watch online, because last thing I want to do is break a bolt on this engine and I have to extract something and take extra days out, which I have to rent extra days for this hoist. So as you guys see, this is a Sunbelt rental hoist right here with a little lever harbor freight. It's gonna make our little job a little easier today.
So real quick, before we get into the video and all that, also, why don't you talk about what your plans are with that motor we about to take out, and then what you plan on putting in there in the future.
Okay,
y'all gonna like this, all right? Y'all gonna like this.
So the plans with the motor that I'm gonna take out of the BMW right now, we're gonna break it down, we're gonna tear it down, we're gonna see if there's any main issues with it right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have these heads taken out, I'm gonna have the heads ported, bore the block out so we can, it's bigger pistons, so it can have probably a bigger compression ratio. And then I want to also change the cams, probably put stronger cams in there, and also change the head studs so it can be somewhat of bulletproof, as they might say. Because I want to also end up putting a turbo on it, and also I'm going to buy another car, which is going to be another E46, which I'm going to get out and turn that into a track car. So that's what the old engine is going to be for. Now, the new engine that is going to actually be sitting in the Bimmer for its life in a little while, it's going to be a 2JZ. So that is the main engine that we're going to have on this channel very soon. So you guys definitely tune in for that. We're actually looking online on eBay right now for a nice little one. We don't want to make any mistakes. We want to have a nice little platform to start off with. But we're definitely looking inside right now to see if we get good prices. But once we do find one, you guys will have a video of us showing you guys. So you definitely look out for that.
And we're also going to build it like for y'all. So you know what we're going to do, since we already got a stand. So we're going to have, it's pretty much the same concept, which makes sense. Yeah. It's an inline 6. That's a what, 3.0?
Yeah, 3 liter.
3 liter, you know. So basically, we're just gonna have it sitting here. We're gonna build it outside. We're probably gonna get a, you said you want to get the non-turbo one, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with the non-turbo one. I'm gonna basically start from scratch. I'm gonna tear everything down inside the engine and then make sure I upgrade all the bolt studs and upgrade all the bolts, the ARP head studs, and
rods, all that stuff.
Yeah, rods and everything. We're gonna basically start from scratch from that 2JZ because we want to make sure, I want to only comfortably, I want to make sure I push at least a good like 700 inside that car. I'm not want to go too over 700 because I'm not, you know, competing or going to the drag strip at the moment. So comfortably, I want to try to get it to that point. So we're want to go with like a single turbo. I don't know what size yet, but definitely a single. Other than that,
so that's pretty much all you got planned. That's nice though. And yeah, I know a lot of y'all saying, oh, you can pick up a GTE block and comfortably you can push probably like 600-700.
Right.
I get that, I really do. But like, if it's gonna be out the car, we might as well build it anyways. Like,
just to show you guys, so you guys have content on actual the process of it being put into a BMW E60, because it's people done it before, but it's not that many actually done in America. So,
and also, so I gotta ask, right? Let's let the people hear. This isn't a popular BMW motor,
right?
And you know a lot more about.
Actually, it kind of is a popular BMW
it is
motor. It's in the E46, it's in the E36, it's in the it's in the X5.
I see a lot of people swapping though, right?
Right.
So okay, talk to me. Why is it that people don't modify this motor to this extent, and why is it that you think a lot of people
usually don't modify this motor to any extent? Because they usually like this motor for reliability issues. It doesn't really hold. It's only stock. This block is reliable for only like 500 horsepower reliably.
The block itself or the internals too?
The internals.
Okay.
But over that, you will blow this engine. You will blow the pistons out because this is a cast aluminum block. So that's why most people don't do it. They go with a stronger block that has a thicker sidewall. So that's why most people don't really do much with these engines. But they do take them to the track sometimes in the E46. They'll gut the engines out and they'll comfortably push 400 horsepower, especially if it's a light car that's fully gutted. So that's definitely the plans for it as of now. But you guys definitely tune in. Today, I'm gonna start off with taking all the bumper out. But like, man, other than that, you guys stay tuned, but let's get right into it.
All right, start up clip number 2. Let's cringe together. Matter of fact, hold up. No, this what the old engine sound like. Give it a little rev again. Ah, damn. All right, cut it.
All right, as you guys can see, we got the front bumper along with the top radiator cover off. The front subframe support is 13mm bolts, and these are a torque 30 bolt all the way around. So after that, we're going to take this core off right here, and then we're going to move on to the radiator. Then after radiator, we're going to take off our headlights, and then we can move on to taking apart all the engine harness and so forth. So take off, these are main bolts. Bottom. Okay, now this whole frame basically can pull off. Just got to take off our headlights to make sure that those are out of the way. Okay, as you guys can see now, I'm currently draining the rest of the fluid of the coolant. All right, as you guys can see, I'm currently draining the last little bit of the coolant. And once I do that, I'm gonna drain the oil. Once I drain the oil, I can finally take off the front radiator. So now that we got all the fluids drained, I'm gonna finally take off this radiator. We finally have access to this engine. But right now, I'm currently gonna disconnect these pressure lines, which are a 6mm hex. Both of them are 6mm hex. So after you get that, you can put these out of the way, which you can finally get access to actually take this out. Okay, just took off the oil pan from the used old engine. As you guys can see, it's kind of worn. You can tell that the last person really didn't make too many. He didn't do too many oil changes he's supposed to, but I'm sure it's gonna be okay. Just gonna go ahead and clean up all the oils on the edges, make sure it has a smooth sealing surface. And yeah, we're gonna get these new oil pan gasket. We're gonna get our new oil pan nut on with our wire so we can tie it. And after that, we can drop our RTV along with the oil pan gasket, and then get this wrapped up. As you guys can see, I got the oil pump nut on with the wire. It's torqued down. I just tightened it up just a little bit tighter than usual, or torque specs. And I also put a little bit RTV right here on this corner, put some on this corner, right here on this corner and this corner. That's just to make sure that it never seals. And also, if you really want to make sure that this engine doesn't leak at all, make sure you guys put a little bit of RTV on the outside. It doesn't have to be much, just put like a super thin layer, then you will never have to worry about leaks. So other than that, we're going to move on. We're going to finish getting all the connectors and everything off of here, hook it up to the hoist, drag it out, and yeah, we'll get back right with you guys. Okay, as you guys can see, I just finished taking out the O2 sensors. Now all the wiring on this side is completely finished taken out. Now on this side, I'm gonna finish taking out the rest of the two harnesses. Once I take out the rest of the two harnesses, I can just leave this one actually plugged up, but make sure it's actually disconnected from the ECU box. And then after that, we can actually get it strapped up and pulled out. Okay, as you guys can see, it's currently dark out. We have all lines and also fittings disconnected right now. Last thing to do is disconnect it from the transmission mount, and then hook it up to the hoist and lift it out. But other than that, right now, I'm just gonna pack up and see you guys in the morning. Just back for another day, you diggy dig. As you guys can see, we did take out the radiator. We got all the lines. We did take out the radiator. We took out all the electrical lines on this side. We took out most on this side. We still got a couple that still needs to be drained. That's why I still have some of these holes clamped off as we speak. But as of now, I'm gonna go over under the car, take off the exhaust, take off the heat shield, take off the drive shaft. Once that is off, then I can unloose the transmission mount, and then we can get the hoist hooked up and get this out of here. So let's get it. Okay, as you guys can see, we got the exhaust out, so it'll give us a lot more access to the transmission and drive shaft. So right now we're going to I'm gonna disconnect the drive shaft, let the drive shaft hang, then I'll do one last check just to make sure all the lines are removed, and then once that's done, we can hook it up to the hoist and get this thing out of here. Okay, but before we do that, I want to take out this compressor, this AC compressor, and just put it off to the side just to get more space. So as I'm taking it out, it won't knock or pull anything. When I take off this compressor, I'll move over to this pulley, and then after the pulley, I'm gonna take out the alternator, and then after that, we can hook it up to the hoist and get it out. Okay, as you guys can see, got the AC compressor off. Now I got all the bolts out for the alternator, and after I take those out, I'll move on to taking out the alternator connector and also the positive connector on the back, which has a 12mm nut And the nut that used to take off the AC condenser is a 13 millimeter. So use that to take off the AC bolts and also from the sides of it. But after that, you can move to the alternator, take that one out, and then after that, you can make sure that you take off the power steering cooler right here, and which should be a 13 millimeter bolt. After you take out that 13 millimeter bolt, then these two power steer lines go straight to your transmission, which I will show you in a minute. All right, a little update. So we got the water pump out. We loosen up all our PCV valve hoses along with our alternator hoses, our diesel valve. We unloose our diesel valve cable, our PCV top feed, and other than that, I'm gonna leave the power steering reservoir along with it hooked up to the cooler, because you know, we ain't trying to stress ourselves out, you feel me? You know, I am doing this by myself, so I just want to make sure I proceed with caution. So we're heading near to the removal, as you can see. So we got everything disconnected, got the wiring harness disconnected. So last but not least is going to be this one, which goes down to the trans, and then after that we'll get right back to you. Okay, as you guys can see, I took the shifter cable off. Now the last thing to unplug is going to be the transmission cable, and we can get this hoist hooked up and taken out of here. Okay, now that we got all the dry shaft and everything unplugged, we also have the engine loose. Okay, now due to our camera not actually catching audio, I'm about to tell you guys what's about to go on in the next coming clips. So right now, as you're about to see, me and Jason are getting ready to, well, Jason's about to manhandle the shit out the engine while we are trying to literally pull it out and get it out of place so we can actually get the headers over and out. So Jason ends up actually pulling it over and up, which we actually needed to get it out in place. So as you guys can see, we have it out. I'm actually getting rid of all the last wiring, and once I get rid of all the last wiring, we can actually move on to pulling it out the rest of the way and start to take off the rest of the accessories. All right, as you guys can see, got the engine and trans up. Now go ahead and take off this this oil pan. After I take off this oil pan, I'll put on a new engine, and then I'm gonna start taking off the rest of the intake manifold and all the rest of the other accessories. Okay, as you guys can see, we got the transmission off, and now I'm currently working on getting off the intake manifold, and we'll put the oil pan on tomorrow morning, put the manifold on, and then we'll be ready to go inside the car. What's good, YouTube? We are currently on day 3, and as you guys can see, I got the manifold off, intake manifold off. I'm currently taking off the rest of the accessories. Last thing to take off is coolant hose, this torque converter, and also I have to reuse this gasket right here. So I gotta make sure I have that as well. I got the oil pan on. I'm gonna install all the bolts, torque them down, and then after that, we're gonna install the alternator and the starter. Okay, as you guys can see, got all the bolts in, got them all torqued down. Also just replaced the oil sensor level gasket from Garage Zone. I actually got it for the E90, but they're all the same because it's the same engine. So make sure you guys replace that as well. I replaced the oil bolt to a magnetic one from HPS. Okay, as you guys can see, we got our alternator on, got our AC compressor on, and now I'll work on getting the torque converter off, and then after that, we can finally put this one on the ground, and finally hook it back up to this one. And then after we hook it up to this one, we can hook the transmission the torque converter, and our flex wheel, or our flywheel, as I say. Okay, as you guys can see, we got our manifold on, and we got most of our plugs and wiring hooked up. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys some progress. We got the new engine on the hoist now. I'm currently getting the torque converter on right now, as you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and put some thread locker sealant on, along with these. They're both that was on there before. And go ahead and torque them down to spec. After we torque them down to spec, we can go ahead and put our transmission on. And then after we put the transmission on, we can go ahead and start putting it inside the car. I have put the converter on, but I'm going to take it off and actually install it on the transmission so I can push the transmission onto the flywheel. So after I do that, I'll bolt everything up, torque everything down, and drag this up and start putting it inside. You guys can see we have the torque converter in. We're gonna go ahead and line it up with the engine and slide it on. Once we slide it on, then once we slide it on, then we can tighten it up, torque it down, and put it in the car. Long time coming, baby, but we're finally here. Right now, I'm just gonna jack it up, level it out, go ahead and guide it down just what past this steering rack, and then as it passes the steering rack, I'm gonna start to tilt it and crank it down, and that should put me where I want to be. So if you guys are wondering what came out of the engine pan, pretty much all of this came out of the engine pan. All of this is metal. So what I had to do was I had to deep clean the oil pan. I used 2 full cans of a brake cleaner, which broke down a lot of the squishy grease or whatever. So after I did that, it was pretty clean. So I just wanted to make sure that there was not one speck of metal inside there, which probably still is, but we got most of it out. That's all I care about. Next thing I want is having one car knocking or spinning a bearing. So we're going to proceed with caution.
Some more?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. We're on day 5. Looks like the engine's sitting in. We got the right side now, as you can see. Now guess what? There's no left side. You know why? Because I took it out. But got still on the bottom. Got the transmission mount in. But most likely gonna get back to you guys when the engine's sitting in. So yeah, see you then. Okay, as you guys can see, we got the engine in. We got the bolts on, and currently I am fixing up the wiring. Some of them broke apart as I was installing them, but these go right here. This one goes right here, and then this one goes right here. Other way, but you guys get it. But I'm gonna finish up getting all these wires fixed up, connected. Once I get them all fixed up and connected, then put in my radiator. And once I put in the radiator, I can finally get all the fluids back in and get this started up. Okay, now as you guys can see, we pretty much got everything back together. I installed a
a man filter along with the NGK Iridium IXs, along with some Peak 5050. And for the oil, I got some liquid Marley 5W30, along with some Max Life Valvoline ATF for my power steering fluid. I also got this additive, but I'm not going to put this in here because a lot of people say that this doesn't really do anything. So yeah, that's going to be tossed to the side. And I got this, but I'm probably going to use this later on because I don't really need this now. So yeah, you guys will go ahead and wait for the startup. Yeah, I'll be right back with you. Okay, as you guys can see, we in the Bimmer right now. I haven't given you guys a cold start since I put the engine in, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now for you guys. Also, I can't currently put the camera up, so just got to give me a little minute. Yes, sir.